Hello, friends. I hope you're out wandering through nature, exploring the natural world around you. Do you enjoy writing about your wanderings? Nature journaling is an awesome, fun way to remember all the adventures you have taken and how you felt during those journeys. If you're looking for some beautiful journals to keep track of all your wanderings, I have several available on Amazon, including some guided journals for children. Start your journey in journaling by clicking on the link in the show notes. Keep exploring the nature around you and keep journaling all your wanderings. Good day, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of the Forest Connection. Any time that you wish to drop me a DM or get in touch with me in one way or another and let me know what you want to learn about, how to reconnect with the natural world, let me know. Yeah, drop me a line and let me know what you want to learn about. But in this first episode, I just want to do a brief introduction to what the Forest Connection is all about. And as the word says in the name, as the name says, I should say, it's all about reconnecting with the natural world. So we're going to spend a lot of time in the forest, although that's not the only place we're going to be, although I find that's one of the easiest places to unwind, reconnect with the natural world. But we're going to spend time in fields, in meadows, by ponds, maybe even at the beach once in a while. So we are going to reconnect with nature in natural ways. We all need it. I mean, why did you pick this podcast? Because you maybe find that you're having a lot of stress in your life. Maybe your job is not something that you really want to do anymore. You thought you wanted to do it, but now it's just getting to be too much as you work your way up the corporate ladder. There's more responsibility, more stresses. You come home from work all shaky and just wanting to quit and do something else. I mean, I've seen it happen over and over again with people where they just don't enjoy the time that they have on our planet. And it's mostly because we've lost our connection with the natural world. I mean, we used to, many years ago, I mean, my great-grandparents, they had a better connection with the natural world. But with every generation, we seem to lose that connection more and more. I mean, we have things that supposedly make our lives easier. Televisions, computers, smartphones, if you want to call them smart, the Alexa app. We have, all these electronic devices that are supposed to make our lives easier. And now we have AI, artificial intelligence, and supposedly that's going to make our lives easier. So, does it? I don't know. I seem to see more people getting stressed out, more people getting sick, more people having medical issues. I mean, I run across more and more people who, when I tell them how old I am, they're like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I keep myself physically active, so I keep myself physically fit, but you know what it mostly is? I got that reconnection with nature. I spend time in nature, and nature has a way of healing us. We knew that long ago, but then I won't get into it too much here, but yeah, Western medicine came along and we kind of got away from getting things from nature, healing with nature. I actually love my DO, my doctor. He actually is a strong believer in let's change your diet. Let's start eating healthier. Let's start spending more time relaxing, doing meditation, doing breathing, connecting with nature And that's what this podcast is all about. And I'm going to have a lot of videos on YouTube as well on different ways to reconnect with nature. I know I unfortunately am a big visual guy. I like to see things. I'm also, getting away from a lot of that, where I like to hear and smell and touch. With my teaching, I've been an environmental educator most of my life. And as I'm teaching, I do a hands-on approach because I feel people learn more that way. But just from hearing something, you don't always, pick it up. So anyhow, that's why I'm also going to be doing a lot of videos with the podcast. Every other week, we'll learn some way of reconnecting with nature. And the opposite weeks, I will have a guided meditation for you, which I hope you'll do outside if you can, but you don't have to. If you want to just do it in your house, you can still semi-reconnect with nature. But we're going to be talking during the regular episodes. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Some weeks we'll talk about how to make salves to heal ailments. I fell this past winter on a patch of ice, and I went pretty hard down on some concrete. I banged up one of my fingers. I scraped up my arm. Luckily it was winter and I was padded pretty well, and I was carrying my computer bag at the time, so that actually broke my fall, and don't worry, my computer was fine too. But I did a lot of damage to my knee. I did some pretty bad damage to the bursa, and didn't warrant any surgery or anything, but it was bad enough where I was having a little trouble walking and hiking. I could not kneel on it, and the physical therapist that I went to and the ortho people, they both said the same thing. It's just going to take time and, some healing on its own. And they kept trying to get me to go to the pharmacy and get some pain relief cream to put on my knee. And it's like, no, I don't touch those things. So what I did instead is I looked it up and I actually made my own. So I made my own natural salve to help to control the inflammation, and it worked wonderfully. Yeah, it took some of the pain away because it was getting rid of the inflammation, the swelling in the knee, which is where most of the pain was coming from. So this is what we're going to do, a little bit of that. We will be doing a lot of forest bathing, Shinrin Yoku, which is Japanese art of forest bathing. It's not taking baths out in the woods. You'll find out more about it. But forest bathing is basically reconnecting with nature, getting out in nature and letting nature heal you. So we're going to be doing some of that as well. Actually, we'll do quite a bit of that. We'll be kind of dividing it up into invitations. The forest invites you into doing different things. So we may start out with doing sit spots, and I'll explain all that in the episode. We may end up going down to a stream. So we will also touch on things like grounding. So how to ground yourself with the natural world, with nature. So a lot of people they've separated themselves from nature, and even in simple ways. When was the last time you walked outside without shoes? Just felt the grass. I do it every day, except in the winter time. Yeah, but during the summer, barefoot outdoors all the time, grounding myself. So we're going to talk about grounding maybe in an episode. We'll also talk about some different ways that you can just get out in nature and connect with nature, different activities that you can do to connect with nature. Maybe we'll be going up and hugging trees sometimes. Maybe we'll go for a walk in the stream barefoot. We'll do some night, invitations. So we're going to do a lot of different things, different ways to connect with the natural world. So I said in the beginning that if you have things that you want to talk about, that's what we'll do. I mean, nature has a lot of ways to heal people, and you're probably here because you want to get that connection back with nature so that you can heal more. It's got both mental and physical healing properties, just being in nature. I've been a little bit, tense these past couple of weeks. I mean, starting a new podcast, planning a vacation. I've had a lot of things going on in my life, and all of it's just kind of been building up, and it's just, I found myself waking up in the morning not feeling relaxed. And I realized it's like, it's been about a week since I've actually had time to get out into the woods. So I told my wife the other day, I says, next Wednesday, I got nothing going on, everything can wait, I have nothing on the calendar, I'm taking the day off. I'm going to head out into the woods, and I am going to reconnect with nature again. And that's what I did. So today I am recording some videos. I got out in the woods and I did some recording of podcasts and some episodes. And I also spent much of the morning just sitting on a log, which is what I'm doing right now in front of the stream. I don't know if you can hear the trickle of the stream. We haven't had much rain lately, so it's just trickling right now. And I'm listening to the birds. So I'm just enjoying being out in nature. Yeah, I'm doing some work. I'm recording the podcast, but it's also just relaxing. I did have a lot of time where I was just taking a stroll, not a hike, not a walk, just a stroll through the woods, enjoying nature. I'd sit every once in a while and just watch nature go by and connect with it. I actually sat next to a tree earlier and just connected, and I just feel so relaxed now. Very relaxed. I know tonight I'm going to sleep like a baby, because that's what it does when you're out in nature. I mean, there's so many healing properties of just being out in nature, being away from it all. And I'm not sitting here thinking about, what I have to do later today. I'm not thinking about how I have to edit the episodes of the podcast, put the videos together, upload them to YouTube. No, I'm not thinking about any of that. That'll come when it comes. I'm just thinking about the moment. Many of you may know it as mindfulness. I'm just being in the moment. Just enjoying nature, enjoying the woods, enjoying the birds calling, and I'm watching this one bird. He's up on the tree branch, and I'm just seeing the shadow. I don't have to identify it. I don't care what type of bird. Oh, there's two of them now. And I'm just watching them. They're pecking at the branch of the tree, probably getting some insects. So they're just doing their thing. It's just relaxing to see it. And in the water, I was watching these tiny little fish. They're in their little habitat here. I mean, they can't get very far because there's so many rocks. It's so shallow. But they've got this little pool where it's deep enough for them. There's probably like 20 fish in there. There's the water striders. And so that's what I've been doing today, just relaxing. It really has relaxed me. Yeah, so we're going to be covering quite a bit. A lot of natural healing topics, meditations, forest bathing, and a lot more. But the whole thing about the forest connection is learning how we can slow down and reconnect with the natural world. A lot of the times during the episodes, I will encourage you to do some deep breathing. I always like to start, whenever I come into the woods, I always like to start my walk or my stroll through the woods with some deep breathing exercises. And honestly, I'll teach you how to do it right now. So that'll be the focus of this episode, not just introducing you to what's going to be going on, but let's get right into it. Why not? Okay, so one of the things I always like to do before I go into the woods, and I do this even at home, I try to do it before I go to bed, is breathing exercises. Every morning I have my routine. I get up out of bed, do some stretches, and then I go downstairs, take care of the dogs, let them out, feed them, let them do their business, and then when they're all settled, then I get myself all settled, and I go out on my back patio during the summertime. During the winter, I just go into my living room, and I put out my yoga mat, and I will do some yoga. I usually do about 15-20 minutes of yoga every morning. Gets me stretched out, gets me calm, gets me ready for the day. But before I even do that, I do my breathing exercises. And a real easy one that I always do is you just breathe in through your nose. So you can try it now. Hold it, and then breathe out. Now, you can breathe out through your nose or your mouth, either one. I usually do both. So you're breathing in for, if you really want to count, you breathe in for the count of 5, hold it for the count of 2, and then breathe out for the count of 8. So your exhale should be slower and longer. So breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Now just doing it 3 times, three repetitions of it, I feel myself relaxed already, but I usually do it 4 or 5 times. If you're really in a stressful situation, do it more. And concentrate on your breathing. That's why I like to do the count. It forces you to concentrate on your breathing. If you're counting in your head, you don't have to count out loud, I wasn't, but count in your head. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then count 1, 2 for the hold, then 1 through 8 for the exhale. And if you're counting in your head, it actually makes you concentrate on your breathing. So you're not thinking about all those things that you need to get done, that you need to do. Hey, this is your time. Now please don't do this while you're driving. Okay, but yeah, sometimes I know you feel like you should be doing it while you're driving, because driving, depending on where you are, can be stressful sometimes. But yeah, just do this exercise before you decide, okay, I'm going to take some time off. Okay, I'm going to be doing some mindfulness. Some time for me to connect with nature, get back with nature. So that's why I like to call it reconnect with nature. We were always connected with nature. Do you remember when you were a kid? Yeah, the child's mind, I love to call it that. I heard that once, and several times I've heard it. It's not just me that uses that term. A lot of people use it, the child's mind. When you were young, I remember when I was young, it's like, no worries. No worries, you know. I think the biggest worry was, which friends are available to go and play? You know, who wants to go out to the park? I was fortunate. I lived in the village, a little village, and I was fortunate that we had a park, the town park, or the village park, was right behind my house. So I just walked through the gate in the back fence and I was in the park. Me and my neighbor 2 doors down, him and I were best friends. We spent more time in that park. But we didn't have a care in the world. No, not a care in the world. So that's what we need to get back to. I mean, we would go out in that park, we would be in nature all the time. We were always, looking at the bugs, the butterflies. We sometimes went out with a net and caught butterflies and released them. And, so yeah, we were always out enjoying nature. But then, yeah, life got busy. Needed to go to school, work. And that's when we disconnected from nature. I did. I disconnected from it, but then I decided, hey, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be a computer programmer. I don't want to spend my days painting houses for a living. I don't want to work at a country club, mowing the lawn. I want to get out in nature and be with nature all the time. So I went back to school when I was in my 30s, and I took a lot of courses, got 2 degrees in environmental sciences, and became an environmental educator. And it's like I got to be out in nature all the time, and I was so relaxed after that. Yeah, I had a job. It was a job I looked forward to. Yeah, I look forward to going to it every single day. So that's what a lot of people don't have, unfortunately. I got lucky, I got fortunate. So I want to teach you how to find that connection again with nature. And that's what this is going to be all about. So I hope you'll join me each week for the nature connection, or for some of the meditations, or join me every other week on my other podcast, The Nature Wanderer, as we explore nature together. So I've got, all those things that you can join me with. Also watch my YouTube videos. They'll help you reconnect with nature as well. So it's going to be all about slowing down. Yeah, slowing down. Getting away from the hectic, crazy world and just taking time for yourself to slow down and find nature. Now, you may be thinking, it's like, well, I don't have a national park near me. Hey, neither do I. Honestly, I don't. I have a wildlife refuge, a national wildlife refuge, about an hour from me. That's about the closest national refuge that I have, national park, if you want to call it. But I don't have any national parks. I have some county parks, which is where I am today. And I have some, town parks, some local parks. You don't need to be in a national park to connect with nature. You can be in your backyard. And we will be doing episodes about that, connecting with nature in your own backyard. Every morning, I do my yoga, I do my breathing exercises, I do a little bit of meditation. That doesn't usually last very long, and the reason is because I have 2 dogs who, as soon as I'm on the ground meditating, kneeling, or laying on my back meditating, however I'm doing it, they always seem to know, and it's like, oh, okay, I gave him 5 minutes, now I get to lick his face. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. But I do try to meditate as often as I can, but that's my morning routine. Getting up, taking care of the dogs, yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, and then I start to get the rest of my day going. And I encourage you, make the time. It can be in your own backyard. I try to find time to walk around my backyard every day in my bare feet, grounding myself. Try it. I love summers when I get to sit out on my back patio. I live in a development. There's houses around me. Neighbors have a pool. They're in that all the time. A couple houses down in the summer, they have a pool, and they invite all the teenage boy who lives there invites all his friends over, and they're having fun and going down the slide, and you can hear the basketball going and playing Marco Polo, and it's like, yeah, they're I've got a whole community around me, but that's okay. I still enjoy sitting out on my back patio watching the birds come to my bird feeders. Going up to my big old oak tree in my yard and just hugging it, or leaning against it and reading a book. And just walking through the backyard. I have a natural area that I created in my backyard. It's really small. I mean, it's not huge, but it's still a great place for all the birds and the insects to come. And I love going there and watching, the progression of it. Just built it this past summer, because we just moved into this house, but just built it this past summer, so it's going to take a little while for it to, get back to being natural, but I don't mow it or anything, and that's fine. That's the way it should be. That's my little spot to connect with nature, but I can do it in my backyard even when I don't go all the way to that natural area. Oh, hearing the blue jay and sounded like a crow. It's just such a beautiful day. There's a chipmunk running by. And this is what I'm encouraging you to do. Just sit. Not with your phone, not with your headphones on, but just sit out in nature and just start to reconnect with nature. Slow down. There's no hurry. I've been out already 2 hours in the woods this morning. And I'm probably going to be out here another hour or two before I decide to go home. And it's not because I have stuff to do at home. It's just, it just will probably be done by then. So, anyhow, I'm going to encourage you, join me every other week for an episode about how to reconnect with nature. And the weeks that I'm not doing an episode on reconnecting, there will be a guided meditation. Join me for that as well. The guided meditations will also be on YouTube. And the weeks during the guided meditation, you can also join me on the Nature Wanderer podcast as well. There will be a social media pages so you can keep track of what's going on, and I'll give you some pointers on there as well. Haven't created it yet. It's going to be up in the next week or two. So all these things, see, like I said, I got a lot to do, but I'm just out here enjoying nature though, so I can clear my mind so that I can do those things better. So thanks for joining me today. Hope to see you again next week. And get out and reconnect with the natural world. Hey there, fellow nature wanderers. If you're like me, you love spending time outdoors, breathing in that fresh air and connecting with the natural world. But at home, have you ever thought about what's in the products you use every single day? That's why I'm excited to share Apple Valley Natural Soap with you. Their handcrafted all-natural soaps are made with organic ingredients, essential oils, and no harsh chemicals. Awesome! So they're not only great for your skin, but they're safe for the planet. And they don't just stop at soap. Apple Valley Natural Soap also carries a full line of natural skincare products, including shampoos, body butters, facial bars, and more. All designed to nourish your skin without synthetic ingredients. You can't beat that. That's just awesome. Whether you're hiking in the woods or just winding down after a long day, their products bring a little bit of nature right into your home. And the best part? By supporting Apple Valley Natural Soap through the Nature Wanderer, you're also supporting this podcast. Just head to the show notes and click on the link for Apple Valley Natural Soap. So go ahead, treat yourself and the environment to something better. Your skin and Mother Nature will thank you. Now let's get on with our adventure.